pill, same company, different country. Price, $4 versus $300. Imagine walking into a pharmacy and discovering the exact same medicine costs 75 times more, just because you're in America. Same ingredients, same manufacturer, sometimes even the same factory. So why does the richest country on Earth pay the highest drug prices on the planet? In most developed countries, governments negotiate drug prices directly. They set limits, they reject unreasonable prices, and pharmaceutical companies accept lower profits in exchange for market access. But America plays by different rules. Here, drug companies can launch life-saving medicines at almost any price they want. And millions of Americans are trapped inside a system designed to keep prices high. Pharmaceutical companies argue high prices are necessary. Developing new drugs is expensive. Some medicines take billions of dollars and years of research, but critics say something else is happening. A strategy called evergreening. Companies slightly modify drugs, extend patents, and block cheaper generic competition for years.
He's talking about a world in which drug prices are much more expensive outside the country than here. So if you look at all drugs, and you look at these countries plus about 25 developed countries as a whole, you can see that they pay about 36% of what we pay. In other words, we pay almost 3 times as much. When you look at branded drugs, the disparity is even greater. And when you look at generics, in fact, it's the other way around. Generics here, 90% of all the prescriptions written are written for generic drugs. Branded drugs are 90% of the cost because they cost so much. So drug prices are higher here, and they definitely...
Why do you have Americans actually traveling around to other countries to buy drugs?
That's a great question, Joe, and there are really 2 reasons for it. One reason for it is because most other countries, take Britain for example, which has national health insurance, they negotiate with the drug companies for the whole country at one time, and they basically say, here's what we're willing to pay. The drug companies don't have as much leverage, so they lower their prices. Also, versus our system, where of course you have Medicare, you have Medicaid, you have private insurance, you have people paying for it on their own, we have a very fragmented system, so there's no equally large force operating against the drug companies. The other reason, quite frankly, is we're a wealthier country and we're willing to pay more, and Europeans and others would simply say no to some drugs. We'll look at that in a minute, instead of paying those high prices.
Okay, so when
Legally, the monopoly survives, and while the rest of the world negotiates prices down, Americans keep paying, but drug companies aren't the only players. Hidden inside the system are powerful middlemen known as PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers. Most Americans have never heard of them, yet they control huge parts of the prescription drug market. Rebates, negotiations, insurance deals, pricing games. The system became so complex, almost nobody fully understands it anymore.
So today Americans spend 70% more for prescription drugs than we spent in the year 2000. Think of that. Our country has the highest drug prices anywhere in the world by sometimes a factor of 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's not like they're slightly higher. They're 6, 7, 8 times. There are even cases of 10 times higher. So that you go 10 times more expensive for the same drug, that's big numbers. Even though the United States is home to only 4% of the world's population, pharmaceutical companies make more than 2/3 of their profits in America. So think of that. With 4% of the population, the pharmaceutical companies make most of their money, most of their profits from America. That's not a good thing.
This isn't just healthcare anymore. It's geopolitics. India became one of the world's largest producers of generic medicine. China dominates critical pharmaceutical ingredients, and global trade agreements protect pharmaceutical patents across borders. Medicine evolved into a global power structure. One crisis, one disruption, and entire nations face shortages. COVID-19 exposed how fragile the system really was. Countries panicked over medicine shortages. Governments realized something dangerous. They no longer fully controlled their own pharmaceutical supply chains. Americans are often told expensive medicine is unavoidable, but around the world, the exact same drugs tell a different story. America doesn't pay more because cheap medicine is impossible. America pays more because powerful systems profit when prices stay high. The question isn't whether the system is broken. The real question is, who benefits from keeping it that way?